Welcome to Geeks for Geeks. In this video, we'll be talking about setting up Android Studio for Flutter development. So we'll be downloading Android Studio, Flutter, Dart, Android Virtual Machine, Git, and a couple of plugins to help you get started with Flutter development. So don't worry if you're new to Android. We will be covering everything for you. First of all, what is Flutter and why are people switching to it? Flutter is an open source UI software development kit created by Google. It was released in May 2017. It is based on Dart, which is an object-oriented programming language. Dart is really easy to learn and understand. It is kind of similar to Java, which is again an OOP language, but I could say it is an easier version of it. And the reason why people are switching to Flutter is we can just write one code base for two apps covering both Android and iOS platforms. This means we have to write our code once for multiple devices, which of course will save our time and work. Then the UI looks amazing with many features available to us for setting easy animations, widgets, clickable buttons, list views, and various other things that you will explore soon. Then we have extremely good and easy to understand documentation which is available on the Flutter website. This is really helpful for the Flutter developer. Then it is based on Dart, which is a really easy language to pick up. To sum up, by coding in a simple and easy way, we can create apps with complicated designs and overwhelming features. Now we come to the part where we see how to set it up on your machine. These are the steps that I'm going to follow for the same. So first of all, you need to have installed Android Studio in which we can create our first Flutter project. You can use your preferred text editor like VS Code etc. But I would recommend Android Studio. To download it, let us Google Android Studio download so that we can go to the official website of Android Studio, which will be probably the first link over here. Don't worry, we will be providing this link in the description box below. So if you can see, this is the latest version of Android Studio which is available right now, and this is the machine that I'm on. You can download it according to your machine, which can be Mac or Linux. So let us click on download Android Studio. You can read the terms and conditions for yourself and then just tick mark the I have read box and click on download. Okay, now that it's done downloading, let us click here and open it, or you can go to your downloads folder and open it. It will ask you for a permission and you will have to say yes to that. So this opens the setup for Android Studio. You can click on next, and this is an option for Android virtual device about which I'm going to talk in the further part of this video. So let us click on next. You can download it wherever you want to, but I would recommend the default C drive path that they have provided. So let us click on next. And this is just the choose start menu folder. So let us click on next and install. Okay, now that our installation has completed, let us click on next. And I don't think there is a need to start it as of now. Let us just click on finish because we have some other things to do. So after downloading Android Studio, after that we have to install Git, which is a version control system that we use for tracking changes to our code. Now it's not necessary that you know how to use Git, but it would be beneficial. So to download Git, let us simply Google search download Git and just click on this link. This will be in the description box. So as you can see over here, there are some operating systems available. Mine is Windows, so I'll just click on Windows and it will open up a pop-up box for you, and you can select the location where you want to download it and click on download. After it is done downloading, you can simply open the setup. It will ask for a permission. You just have to say yes to that. Then it will show these options to me. I'll just tick mark this box and click on install. So that is all. You have successfully installed Git on your machine. So let us see what is the next step for setting up Flutter. So up to now we have installed Android Studio and Git. Now we have to install Flutter by following the official documentation of Flutter. So to go to the official documentation of Flutter, let us Google Flutter documentation or simply Flutter docs. You can click on this link and this is the official documentation of Flutter. You can click on get started. Then you can see there are various operating systems available. Mine is Windows, so I'll simply select this. And if you click on it, this will open up a series of instructions to install Flutter. Now the system requirements, they are really important to see if our machine satisfies the minimum requirements to use Flutter. Operating system, they need Windows 7, mine is Windows 10, so it looks fine. Disk space, they need 1.64 GB, so I have that much space, so it looks fine as well. The tools, so Windows PowerShell 5.0, it is pre-installed in Windows 10, so I don't have to worry about it. If you don't have it, you can simply click on this link and download it. Then Git for Windows, that's what we installed before, so we'll look good to go. After checking all the system requirements, let us see how to get the Flutter SDK. SDK means Software Development Kit. So you can either download the zip file by following step 1 and 2, or if you see over here, you can skip steps 1 and 2 and get the source code from the Flutter repo on GitHub. So for doing that, you will have to copy this command and paste it in your command prompt. Again, it will depend on your system. It will be different for Mac and Linux. So why we needed Git is for getting a load of code from the Flutter GitHub into a computer. That's essentially installing Flutter into a computer. So what it says is we are going to install Flutter in some src folder in the C drive. So for that we'll have to create this src folder. So let us go to our C drive and create this src folder. So I'm going to head over to my C drive, and inside it I'm going to create this folder called src. Src is in lowercase, and inside this folder we are going to download our Flutter SDK. And it is really important that you know where your Flutter SDK is, because in the future you might have to provide the path to your Flutter SDK. So after creating this folder, we can head back to the website and copy this command, and we have to paste it in the command prompt. So to open the command prompt, you can go to start and search for cmd, and this is the command prompt that opens up. So if you see over here, the path is a bit different, or the address is a bit different. The address that is specified over here is C and then source folder that we created. But the address is a bit different, so we'll have to head back to the C directory over here. So to do that in the command prompt, you can specify the command cd space dot dot. Cd means change directory, and if I hit enter, see I'm back to C users, and if I hit again, if I write cd space dot dot and hit enter, I'm back to the C drive, and now I have to go to the source folder as they have said over here. So to do that, I can simply write cd means change my directory to this source folder now, and if you see, now I'm correctly to my source folder, and I can simply paste the command that I copied from the website, and now Flutter is being cloned into my machine. So after this is done, you can go to this source folder, and if you see, there is this new folder known as Flutter appearing. So if I go to this folder, you can see this Flutter console. Let us open this up. This is the Flutter SDK. Inside it, let us type in the command flutter doctor. This basically runs a diagnostic and tells us if Flutter is installed correctly. When you run it first, it is going to take some time because it is downloading the Dart SDK. So it is just going to take a couple of minutes before it gives you some feedback. You will now get green ticks for the requirements that you already have. You need green ticks compulsorily for Flutter, Android Toolchain and Android Studio. So if you don't have Chrome, IntelliJ or a connected device, it is fine. You can ignore these. But you need to have a green tick marked compulsorily for Flutter, Android Toolchain and Android Studio. If you don't have these green ticks, the command prompt will already suggest you what you have to do to get them. You can follow the command prompt and get those green ticks. Now at the minute, Flutter can run inside this Flutter console, but it might be that if you try to run Flutter elsewhere in your computer, then it might not work. To check this, let us open a new window of command prompt. So I'll just go to start and search cmd and hit enter. So this is a new window of command prompt, so I can check the version of my Flutter. So to do that, there is a command called as flutter -- or -, whatever you want to call it, version, and if I hit enter, you can see this. This might work for you or it might not work. So if it works for you, then well and good. You don't need to do anything else. As you can see, it is working for me. You will probably get some error message on the command prompt if it does not work for you. If it does not work, then you are going to need to edit the path variable inside your environment variables so that you can use Flutter elsewhere on your computer. To do so, go down here to the start menu and search for env, and go to the edit the system environment variables. Then go to the environment variables right here, and if you see there is this path, you can double click on it and you get all the environment variables that are there on my machine. So if you see this path, I have this C, source and then Flutter. You want to get this path inside your environment variables. So as of now, I'm going to delete it and tell you all how to get this path. So you can head back to your C drive, and I told you all, you need to know where your Flutter SDK is there. Inside your C drive, there is a source folder, then this Flutter folder, and then the bin folder. You have to simply click over here and copy this path, and you have to paste in your environment variables. So to create a new environment variable, just click on new and paste your path and click on OK. So if you go back to your path variables, you can see this path is present now. You need this path so that you can use Flutter elsewhere on your computer. So after editing the environment variable, you can check if the command is working for you again or no. So as you can see, this command is working for me. Now that we have installed Flutter and we can use it anywhere on your computer, The next thing that we have to do now is set up Android Studio to work with Flutter and Dart. For this, let us open up Android Studio. So you can go to Start and search for Android Studio that you had installed before. You can right click and you can just pin it to your taskbar, or you can go to the file location, get this shortcut and paste it on your desktop so that you can use it whenever you want to. So now let us open it. After opening up Android Studio, you will get a window which is kind of like this, because I already have these projects in Android Studio, so you won't have them, and you won't have this create a new Flutter project option. First of all, let us create an Android emulator so that we can test the apps. It is not necessary to have it, but I would recommend having it. So to do that, let us go to configure and then AVD manager, that is Android Virtual Device Manager. Virtual device is just like having a device like a phone or a tablet inside your computer. You don't need a physical device to test your apps by using virtual devices. So if you create a new virtual device, you can choose from the abundant options that are available over here. I am simply going to select Pixel 4 XL, and as you can see, there is this category. It can be a TV, tablet, anything. We are going to select a phone because we are going to work on mobile applications. Then we have to choose a system image, that is the version of the operating system. The version really depends on the requirement of the app that you are making. For now I am selecting R, as Android 11 is the latest Android available as of now, and I already have it downloaded. You can download any system image and use it on your emulator. And remember to stay connected to internet. You can change the name of this device. I am just going to let it be as it is, and I am going to change the graphics to hardware for faster rendering of the apps when we are testing them, and click on finish. Now we can simply go to our Android Virtual Device Manager and click on this run button to start the simulator that we had installed before. After the device is booted, as you can see, it is like a normal mobile device in which we can install apps and test them. You can drag and drop this device according to your need. As we can see in our steps now, we have completed the first 4 steps. Now we just have to install a couple of plugins on Android Studio. For installing plugins, open up Android Studio again, go to configure and go to plugins. Make sure you are on the marketplace option up here and search for the Flutter plugin. It is probably going to be the first one up here. It basically installs a load of tools in Android Studio which will help us in creating apps in Flutter. It also will add an option of creating a new Flutter project on the start screen of Android Studio. It has one dependency, which is the Dart plugin. So if I click on install, it will already say it requires Dart plugin because it is a dependency. So let us click on install to install both of them simultaneously. Now click on restart ID to apply changes in our plugins. After restarting it, you should get the option start a new Flutter project right over here. Let us create a new Flutter project. Now it gives us a couple of options. We are just going to stick with Flutter application because that's what we want to create. It might ask you for the SDK path or no, but if you don't have the SDK path over here, you can simply click on these 3 dots. You know where the SDK is, right? You just have to go to the C drive, then source, and then to this Flutter folder and just select this folder. Now let's click on next. Now the project name, I am going to change it to, say, we'll call it first app with a capital A. After that, project location, my location is D, then I created a separate folder called Flutter project to store all my Flutter projects. You can change it by going over here. After that, the project description, you can add it whatever you want to. After that, the organization, that is the company domain. This is just so that you can give your package a name by using this. It is like an identifier for your package. You can also choose the language as Java or Kotlin. I am going to let everything be as it is and click on finish. What if you see the name of our app is first app with a capital A, and it says we cannot use uppercase, we just need lowercase with underscore, so we don't need the capital A. So to do that, let us delete this A and simply write underscore and then a small case A, and now click on finish. Now it is the first time you're opening a project, so it is going to take time, especially the loading Gradle part. So you have to be very patient about it. Once it loads, you can see the Android Studio platform opening a basic code for us. This is a sample app that Flutter has created for us. I'll just maximize the size of the screen. Now to customize some things, you can head over to files and go to the settings option, and in the appearance and behavior, you can check out appearance actually. In this, you can change the theme to Dracula. Dracula is a dark theme. Yours might be entirely light if you're using it for the first time in Android Studio. You can use customized font by ticking mark this option. Then you can change the font and you can change the size. Now this is for the UI, that is the user interface. It does not change the size of this code whatever you're writing it. So suppose let us change it to 30. And if I click on OK, if you see this size has increased, but not of everything, not of the code, just of this user interface. So that's why I'll just change it back to whatever it was before. Okay, now it looks good. In this way, you can customize the UI. But what if you want to customize the code? You want to change the font, you want to change the size. For that, head over to File, then go to the Settings. In Settings, you can go to the Editor option. Inside Editor, go to the Font option. Over here, you can change the font, you can change the size. So say I change the size to 30 and click on OK. You can see the size of my code has increased a lot. I'll change it back to 18 now. I think the size 18 is big enough and visible. Now you can click on Apply and then click on OK. So as you can see now, the size of the code is 18 and is more readable, which is really important. If you see in the file and settings, you can search all the settings over here and change whatever you want. Alright, now let us close the settings and head over to the top left side of your screen. So if you see there is this project, packages, project files, etc. So if you want to see the project structure, by project structure, what I mean is the organization of your project's files. So you have to select this project option. So this is where all your code eventually goes. So if you click on this first app, which is the name of your app, a whole project structure will open up for you. I won't go into the details of it as of now, but inside the lib folder, you can see this main.dat file. And if you open it, you will get this main file of your code, which is already opened over here. Remember we created a virtual device before? Now we are going to use it to see the output of this sample code. So to open that virtual device, see this no devices option over here. You can click it, and if you get that option, then it's good. But if you don't get the option of, by the option I mean the name of your Android virtual device, you can just see this icon with the greenish Android, which is nothing but our AVD manager. You can click on it, and if you see, you'll get the name of your Android device. So you can just click on this play button and you'll open the, if you see, you are getting the option, right, starting AVD. So let us make some room for it. I'll close the AVD manager as of now. I'll minimize the Android Studio. I'll arrange this Android Studio so that it is on the left side and this phone on the rightward side of the screen. You can obviously change the size of the screen to whatever you want to. Now I have arranged Android Studio and this emulator in such a way that I can see the project structure, I can type, change or view the code that I have for my app, and I can test my app in this emulator simultaneously. Now to verify if this emulator has been connected to Android Studio for testing your app, you can head over here and check if there is this SDK GPhone option selected. So if this gets selected, it means your device has been linked to Android Studio. So to run this code, you can simply click on run or just press Shift plus F10, which is shortcut for running. For the first time, it is going to take some time to run the app on our device. Just be a bit patient and give it some time to run, especially the initializing grader step. Alright then, as you can see, the app is running successfully on this emulator. It is the title and it says you have pushed the button this many number of times. So if you push this button, it is basically incrementing the counter. So the sole function of this app is to count the number of clicks on this button. So if you see the title of the homepage is Flutter Demo homepage, that's why we got this title. Then there is this counter which increments the count each time we click on this button and so on. So I'm not going to explain the code in details as of now. But as you can see, our Android virtual device is working perfectly fine, and finally Flutter has been set up on our machine. That is all for this video. I hope everything was clear to you. If you have any doubts regarding whatever I have explained in this video, feel free to ask them in the comment section. And if you find this video helpful, please make sure that you like this video and subscribe to the Geeks for Geeks YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.